watching Brattleboro Community Television, and today I'm joined by Luis Sanchez, who's the co-owner of Amaru Gourmet here in Brattleboro, Peruvian cuisine. We're here to talk about Battle of the Chefs, which is a very exciting new program coming here to BCTV and to Brattleboro at large, starting this February 14th, 2025. So I'm joined here by Luis. Thank you, Luis, for being here.
Thank you, Johnny. So, let me start. On behalf of Chef Lana, who was last week here, myself, and especially Amaru Gourmet, we would like to thank you for the opportunity of being here. I mean, we love cooking. That's our passion. But we also want to spread the word and the people in the community of Brattleboro to understand what we're doing. And I think that combining our social media network with your television over there, we can achieve and we can get to the wide scope of the people. The people that are wanting to understand, I mean, what is behind everything? What is behind the cooking? What is behind Amaru Gourmet, but not only Amaru Gourmet, what is behind having a differentiation on the food? So I would like to also to thank you for the opportunity of giving us and betting on what is becoming the first event that we're hosting together, collaborating with you, which is the Battle of the Chefs, which I'm sure is going to be the first one out of many other events that we can host together. So to start with this, thank you for welcoming and thank you for collaborating with us.
Of course. I mean, I think what you guys are doing is very special. Not only are you a restaurant and you're providing really high quality food to folks, but you're also sharing the culture behind it.
Correct.
You're bringing community together, not only to learn about what you're doing, but to really be a part of it.
But that's the idea. I mean, many people understand, many people think that cooking or eating is about just going to the restaurant, ordering some food, not because I don't want to do it at home, because to have a different experience, but no, it's wider behind the scenes. It's much more, it's a cultural. It becomes like a style of living.
Exactly. Now, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because I do want people to know who you are and what your role is in Amaru Gourmet and Battle of the Chefs as well. Would you please introduce yourself?
Well, of course, yes. I mean, to everybody, hi, my name is Luis Sanchez. So, I'm gonna start explaining you, trying to think about from the beginning. I mean, of course, I'm Peruvian, was born and raised in Peru, Lima. My father was Peruvian, but my mother was Italian, so I had the opportunity to mix those two rich cultures in one. I grew up in an environment where I have a grandmother Peruvian and a grandmother Italian. They both towards cooking and they both teaching us how to try, because that's the key. I mean, I had the opportunity to try different ingredients when I was a child. Ingredients and different tastes that normally kids don't want it to taste, but they're in a certain way obliged me to do it. I have no alternative. But I thank them today because that enriches your palate, enriches your way of seeing the food.
Especially those two cultures. I mean, the Peruvian and the Italian, like very different, but very essential. Like cooking is very essential to both of those cultures.
Very familiar, very family root oriented. But here's the thing, Peruvian cuisine is a mixture of Italians, Spanish, Africans, Chinese, and Japanese. So Italian was one of those who was present over there. Huh? So me being there, studying in Lima, economy, finance, worked in banks, and at the age of 32, I had the opportunity to leave Peru and go to Switzerland, a place where I stay and live 20 years. Over there I worked in the banking industry, finance. I started like an assistant of assistants of assistants in a Swiss bank until I became the senior vice president of the bank. Following that, I had the opportunity to become a CEO of a large investment global company. Both combined together allowed me the possibility of traveling around the world. At a certain point, I was traveling 250 days a year, even more than any pilot. I was going on and coming back, which allows me to meet almost 60 to 65 different countries, different cultures, different environments, which teach me different ways of seeing not only society, but ways of seeing food, ingredients. How do they make it? How do they prepare it? By living 20 years in Switzerland, and Switzerland is in the middle of Europe, I had the possibility to travel around Europe. Then moving myself to Dubai for 5 years, being able to learn one of the difficult countries. I mean, is the cultures, the Muslim countries, the religion, the way they conduct the things, which I respect very much.
What brought you to Dubai?
My work, my job. I mean, the new company that I was on it, the hub, the center was based in Dubai. So wherever I was going back and forward, I always have to go back to Dubai. So that allows me to enrich myself. I mean, people think Dubai, yes, cosmopolitan city, I mean, the way it is, shopping malls, very fancy, but deep inside, you have a real culture behind, a real way of living, and a real ingredients. I mean, the Middle East provides you a lot of ingredients that you don't find any other way.
No, the way it grows out there is just incredible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and from there, where did I go? I went 5 years to China. But hold on, China, people think Shanghai, Beijing, they see the wall. No, I was in places that I call it myself, no-name places, because they're in the middle of nowhere.
Were they rural environments or were they still cities with smaller cities?
No, everything in China is huge, okay?
Yeah.
Big, every town it is 5+ million people living over there. But I was living in a place that were no foreigners, like no foreign restaurants, everything was Chinese. I mean, Chinese restaurants, Chinese food, Chinese ingredients. Even if you go to the supermarket and you want to buy food to cook yourself, everything was in Chinese. You go like, what do I do? What is this? I mean, put you an example, okay? I went to the supermarket and I want to buy meat. You see so many different types of meat over there, all in Chinese that you don't know. Here you can say cow, rabbit, or chicken, or anything. Over there, you don't have an idea, believe me. Mm-hmm. One day I was over there and I go like, how do I buy? How can I cook? So I pick a piece of meat, find a lady over there in the supermarket, and I go like, excuse me. She goes like, what? Moo or meh? And she goes, moo. So that's how the culture it is, you see?
Yeah.
So spending the time over there, Chinese has a vast condiments. They have a long array of differentiation of cooking techniques, condiments, from the A to Z, which enrich myself very much. From the south of China to the north of China, which they are different, even though in the same country, like any other country itself.
It's a large country.
It is very big. So from there I went to Vietnam. All in this moment still working for the financial company. Never thinking about restaurants and never thinking about opening a restaurant. But I love cooking from all of my life.
You're still cooking for yourself.
Exactly.
Like at this time. Yeah.
Put it this way. Many people goes to work and after work they go to the gym. Other ones they read a book. Other ones they do some home activities. My way of keeping down my stress and going home was cooking. But when I mean cooking, it doesn't mean cook to eat. It means the whole ritual. Cooking 2-3 hours, because that's what Peruvian cuisine takes, with a glass of wine, enjoying the momentum, and cooking to distress myself. Of course, after doing some exercise. But that was the way I deal with my life. Cooking for so many years, but for myself. For maybe me and some friends in a small group, never thinking about opening a restaurant. Went back to Vietnam, which I learned a lot over there. street food in Vietnam is an amazing place you have to try. It is like a blast. It's something you've never seen it before. You go, it's miles of different food, everybody differently. On the streets, different flavors, different aromas, different condiments, different culinary techniques, different culture, in a good way, to say it. And then what happened? At the age of 50, I want to follow the dream that I had with my mother. My mother was a surgeon, and then she resigned at the age of 50, more or less my age. And she went to study to school for chef. She went to the Gordon Bleu, studied for chef.
Yeah.
And she graduated as a chef at the age of 60 almost. And while I was traveling in Europe, here and there, she always joined to me, and she always told me, listen, son, take me here to see, for example, she goes to me, take me to Russia to see how the borscht soup is done. So, okay, and then I took it to Austria to see another dishes, different countries in the world to see how things were done. So we had a plan to make a restaurant. He says, listen, you're doing well in finance, I know the culinary techniques, I become a chef, son, let's do our restaurant. Unfortunately, for good or bad, she died in 2016. So the dream of doing our restaurant stopped.
But not fully for you, it
Exactly,
sounds like.
not fully for me. So when I turned 50, I said to myself, that's it. I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna start my restaurant. Why 50? I should have done it before, it's true. But 50 is an age that it determines either you go left or you go right. I mean, working in a restaurant, it is at 15 to 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's very challenging. So I still believe that for everybody with 50 is still young, by the way.
But you got to make your 20, 30-year plan at that point and understand where do you want to be at that time.
Correct.
You know?
So at 50, you make a 20, 25-year plan. Let's say 75, you can still think that you can still handle things. That's the line where diverge. Should I or should I not? Should I stay in finance and live my life in finance and retire in finance? Or should I go to follow my dreams and go to the restaurant side? But I could not wait to 55 or to 60 to make that decision.
Right, because it takes time to manifest it.
Yeah,
well.
and also, don't get me wrong, it's a decision not easy to make. I mean, 20 plus years in something that you know, which is finance, numbers, algorithms, and then one day you say, I'm going to switch everything that I do for a knife. My mother did the scallop for the knife. I'm doing numbers and calculator for a knife. My friends, my parents, my father is still alive, my family goes like, you're doing what? Listen, Luis, I know you like cooking, I know you do a very nice ceviche, a good lomo saltado, but seriously, what do you know about restaurants? I know you can handle 2, 3 people, 6 people, let's say 8 people at your house when you want to show off and say that you know how to cook. But another thing is to go and open a restaurant and cook for 50, 75, and X number of people that you don't know how much is going to come.
And it's, I mean, the culture is very different of that. It's on demand. It's, you know,
Correct.
You don't know when or where or how many people at any given moment.
How many ingredients do I need to have in stock? I mean,
Exactly.
How many should I buy? How much, I don't know, meat should I put when I cook for myself? I think of myself, okay, this multiply by 5, okay, and I'm not thinking about how much it's going to cost me, how much money I'm saving. I'm thinking to have a nice meal. But when it comes to a restaurant, it becomes a business.
Your background in finance and just general economics probably helped you.
Let's say it helps after.
Sure.
But at the beginning, you need to learn how to cook massively.
Yeah.
And massively it is for a restaurant. So, luckily I have a cousin and an uncle that owns a restaurant in Lima. Thank you guys, it's called Omar and my uncle Puccini. Hello from you from Brattleboro Community TV. And they own a big restaurant, 646 chairs. So they invite me, Chef Lana, I was with her at that time, and we went to Lima, and we passed through every single stage, from cleaning to cutting potatoes, cutting onions, tomatoes, and everything. Even though I was the cousin or the nephew, we go through the whole process. Not that we come day one and say, excuse me guys, I will, no, it doesn't work like that. So we stay over there almost a year in an average of 12 hours a day. On and off, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. She and I learning all these different techniques and how to handle the business from, as I'm telling you, from cooking until structuring, until orders, suppliers, and everything that is on the chain or on the restaurant business. So that moment I said to myself, okay, time to open the restaurant. Where are we going to open the restaurant?
That's a great question. There's so many places that you could at this point.
No, was Vietnam. We loved Vietnam when we were there. We got used to Vietnam. We even, at the beginning, were living in a very nice high compound over there, you know. And we left that compound to live in a Vietnamese compound where only Vietnamese people live, so we can understand the Vietnamese culture, not as a foreigner who is living there, but as a local who is mingling with them in every day. So we live over there like 6 months to really understand the Vietnamese. You know how difficult it is. You go to an elevator, everybody speaks Vietnamese. Nobody understands you. You go to the supermarket, local supermarkets, everything is in the Vietnamese language.
What's the best way to immerse yourself and understand a culture or a language?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Because the breaking point to say, my life will be easy, you're not making it easy. That's why at the beginning we stay in a nice compound, English speaking, foreigners, still some Vietnamese mixers, but there were more foreigners. Nobody makes the decision to say, no, I'm gonna go to the deep inside Vietnamese roots so I can get very close to the culture. But since we wanted to open the restaurant, we said that's how we have to do it. And the restaurant was initially planned to be open there. Our partner in the business, who was my partner in the financial company, went to Vietnam, told me, Luis, you say you cook. I don't know how much you cook, but I mean, finance was okay, but cooking, I have to go. Flew to Vietnam, comes over there and said, listen, well, make us a dinner, make me a dinner. No? So Ileana, Chef Lana and I cooked for him. He said, well, you guys cook good. Thumbs up. I think you can make it, but can you cook massively? I said, don't worry, we will do it in Lima. What do you think about Vietnam? Well, we take a look at Vietnam. There were we were living in Saigon, by the way.
Okay.
No Peruvian restaurants.
Right.
And I was surprised.
Do they have a lot of variety of restaurants?
A lot, yes.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of French influence.
Okay.
A lot of French, yes. But not yet Peruvian food, which I was surprised was not yet. Because Peruvian food is booming, so it's moving towards. I said, well, that's good for us. Nobody has it, we can put it over there. Loving the culture, loving the country, loving the climate, loving everywhere. We decided to put it over there. He goes over there, takes a look, and says, listen, Luis, all good to go, fine, very good. I think we can do it. And then he goes, but why don't you want to take a look at the US? I said, US? I don't remind myself when was the last time I was in the US, because I was from Europe pretty much to the other side, to Asia, to Middle East. I wasn't.
You didn't visit the US much on business?
No,
yeah.
no, I used to do it until 2010, more or less. But my clients were not this side of the world.
Sure.
They were on the other side. They were Europe primarily, basically, Middle East and Asia. So I didn't come to the US, and I don't have family in the US. And when I wanted to see my family, which was in Lima, I just go from Europe to Lima. I didn't have to pass to the US.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, listen, you want to take a look at the US? And I go like, I don't know. But listen, Luis, maybe yes. I go, okay, where are you living now in the US? Hold on. Don't tell me where you used to live. Don't tell me where you want to live. And definitely don't tell me where your friends live. You tell me where are you now.
Yeah.
Because that's a tricky thing, you know, over there. Oh, no, I'm living here, but you're not. Well, I'm in Boston. And I go, okay, Boston. I go, Ileana, you want to go to Boston? You want to take a look at Boston? She goes, well, Boston is a nice place, cosmopolitan, it is big,
Yeah.
MIT, international students, I mean,
Harvard.
Harvard, yes, MIT, yeah, that could work. It's not Miami, because I said, listen, I'm more towards to Miami, but doesn't matter, it could work. So, okay, that's the one thing. You go to Lima for the training, I'll go to Boston to take a look. So I took the flight. So I go on Tokyo, Boston, no? So my partner picks me up from Boston. Starts driving, and I go, okay, all's good. MIT, Harvard, the Reed, the Harvard. No, so it's good. Where is the place that you think we can put the restaurant? It's a little bit to the north. Don't worry about it. I mean, so while he's driving, he was trying to make jokes and distracting me so the time passes and I don't figure.
Maybe 2 hours go by.
2.5 hours, pretty much.
Yeah. And then
We enter to the welcome to Vermont, and I go like, hold on, Vermont is not Boston.
Very much so.
All right, but which is the first town that when you enter to Vermont? What's the first town you are there? Brattleboro. Here we go.
Yes, sure.
Well, one of the first.
Yeah, Guilford, Vernon, but you hit Brattleboro in the first exit.
And I go like, he goes, here it is. And I go like, Google it. This is what, 10,000, 8,000? Nobody knows. It's between 8 to 12,000 people live here. I mean, Saigon is 14 million. This is not happening. I mean, no, I'm going back. Luis, don't be negative. I mean, this you just arrived, you're gonna stay, you got a 3 months planning trip to be here. Think out of the box. I go, okay. Long story to be short, the rest of the story you can see it on our webpage. You go to our webpage and you can see journals, and I have the full story over there written.
Yeah, it's an exciting story, really. And
But
I mean,
ended up
with
being
the end
here.
being that you're here now, and you've opened your restaurant in Brattleboro.
And not only that, I mean, now we love the town. I mean, this is the town where I say that I live. People ask me today, my friends ask me now, where are you living? And I say in Brattleboro. They don't understand what it is. So what I said, it is Vermont, and some of them, they also don't understand what it is. So I use my partner's philosophy. So where are you living? Boston. Ah, okay, Boston. Okay, so yeah, so the problem.
It's the same thing that happened to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes to meet me, say, listen, go to Boston, I'll pick you up. So I don't need to confuse them too much. Even my father, where are you? Brattleboro. Where? Guilford. Where? Vermont. Where? Boston. Ah, my son is in Boston. Okay, very good, we got it. So yes, we ended up here. We opened the restaurant May 29th, the day of my birthday. And so far, the experience that we have, since what we didn't know was going to happen, with the fear of first-time restaurants, with the fear of, did we learn properly? Are we gonna make too much mistakes? Are we prepared to open the restaurant? We haven't done it before. I know about finance, but are we confident in cooking? Are you sure that we will be able, like you see all the kitchen gets a mess, all the orders comes in, is gonna happen to us? Are we gonna fail or not? I said to Chef Lana, listen, one day at a time. Let's open, let's give it a try, and let's see what happens. Let's see if the town welcomes us. Let's see if our food is accepted. We deal on a daily basis with the situations, like baby steps. 6-7 months after, here we are. We just try our food, so
I mean, yeah, I can attest to it from a personal standpoint, just in terms of the quality of the ingredients you're using and the love that is used to prepare it. It really is. You've gotten me to try so many things I never thought I'd try before. Honestly.
Exactly.
And I'm grateful for that.
And that's the idea. You see,
Yeah.
you see how many people comes to the restaurant. I mean, especially local people, and they go like, "Thanks for being here." And at the beginning I was like, "Oh, no, very good, hot shot, no?"
Yeah, right.
But it wasn't that. It means like they want some differentiation. They value the effort of the healthy of the food, with the flavorless, with the colorless, with the passion and the heart that we put on it, with a pinch of love too, no? And even though Brattleboro has a good restaurant, yes, it has a good restaurant, but it needs more diversification. It needs to have different options of dining too. I mean, and every welcoming restaurant and every welcoming cuisine that comes here makes the town a little bit more cosmopolitan. It can be small, yes, but it can be also be cosmopolitan and small.
I think that's one thing that makes Brattleboro unique and strong as a town, is the fact that we have a really nice balance of urban, suburban, and rural all in one town, which attracts lots of different kinds of people who are all living amongst each other and able to share ideas with each other and be around other people they wouldn't ordinarily be around.
Exactly.
And I think what you're just contributing to that in a very positive
Exactly.
way.
At the beginning, I was thinking that this is like a ghost town. Not anymore. I think you guys are doing things right. You are exactly in a place where, 4 hours from New York, 2 from Boston, 3.5, 4 from Montreal. It can become, actually I would say it's a hub. Okay, but any hub, you need to have, besides everything that you have, the mountains, the rivers, the landscape, the snow resorts, a culinary destination. And a culinary destination has to be composed by multicultural options of eating. And I think Peruvian cuisine contributes in this momentum as one of those options.
Especially considering how much of a gastronomic boom Peruvian cuisine has seen in recent years too. It's necessary, if Brattleboro is going to be a hub, it's necessary to have that representation there, I think.
Correct. Now the question it is, when we came here, some people didn't know what exactly was Peruvian cuisine, or if they knew it because they heard it, but they never tried the dishes, you know? Like I would say a little bit some resistance today, huh? Some people look at it and they say, I put the menu with pictures, they look at the pictures and they go like, they don't know that. You know, it's like they're trying to go to the next step, but they still have some resistance in the previous step of the traditional American cuisine, whatever they have grew up and whatever they have had it all their life. So we're trying to accommodate our cuisine with a new menu, which is, by the way, coming on Valentine's too, for the winter menu, which is an adaptation of what we have thought that was people like and what is the best of us, and combine them together to give the people, I mean, what they want, what they're looking, and what we think that they should have at the same time.
So Luis, I want to spend some time talking about this Battle of the Chefs, which is going to be happening fairly soon.
Oh, 1 month.
Exactly. So you're starting this concept by battling your very partner, Chef Lana, who we've interviewed on the show here.
Yes.
And so can you maybe just talk a little bit about the concept of this event and sort of your intentions to plan
You know,
it?
funny the story is I was watching her interview, which by the way is going to air soon on BCTV, and she mentioned to you, I, like her, came with the idea of the Battle of the Chef, which is true, I have to say. So I was writing some articles for the Reformer newspaper, And I sitting with her and I said, listen, darling, writing the articles, health-oriented experiences is good. So far it's like 2/3 months I'm doing this, but you cannot keep to the people doing the same thing. I have to eventually change to something else. I mean, that's diversification.
Yeah.
People don't want to be reading the same thing. Today I write about one thing, one ingredient, tomorrow about a different ingredient, but they want to be, what's the next thing?
Also, your reach is just going to be better if you're diversifying
Correct.
your methods of outreach.
And I go to her, listen, I'm thinking of something new, something for, not now, but something that has to be coming soon. Because that's how it has to come. Yeah, I cannot do the same thing every day. So she goes, no, listen, Luis, I mean, you should do something about like the Clash of the Titans. I go like, the Clash of the Titans? She goes, yes, that's the new concept you have to do. And I go like, how do we see it? She goes, well, here's the thing. We're gonna do it in a friendly, nice environment, in a way that people can see a clash, no titans, but a clash. I said, I got it, battle of the chefs. That's what we have to do. So we immediately understood each other. She got me the concept, I profounded it a little bit, and we came with this idea. So what happens is this, think about this. We are new in town, it's a new restaurant, people come, a lot of people doesn't know us, people passes by because we are in I-91 exit, so a lot of tourists coming from New York back and forward passes by, and they always ask us, you're Peruvian? Yes. And you are, and she's Bulgarian, so you're different. So how do you work here? I mean, who is the chef? I mean, what are you doing good and what is she doing good? I'm a little bit confused because I would understand Peruvian restaurant, 2 Peruvian chef, fine, but here this Eastern European with Latin American, South American culture. I doesn't understand. I understand that in an operating room, there's only one surgeon. In a plane, there's only one pilot, and in the kitchen, it's supposed to be only one chef. So here comes the dilemma, you see, and we started to say, okay, here, darling, well, hold on. I'm supposed to be the chef. She goes, well, I'm too. Okay, great. But we can't be together. So we have this friendly challenge in between us. And we say, why don't we put this on an event? I mean, you have your own way, you have your culture, I have mine. We've both been trained in the same place. We know how to cook, but definitely your way you present it and the way that I do it will be different. It's something as you say it on the trailer, love and battle, and that's how it is. It's a friendly competition, it's a love competition, it is a way of expressing ourselves, 2 ways, 2 different cultures, like we say here, 2 chefs, 2 cultures, 1 kitchen, 1 ingredient. And that's how it came up to the idea. Well, you have it on MasterChef in the US, we have it in La Guerra de los Chefs in Peru, and every other single country has its own battle of the chef in its own way.
Of course. Yeah.
But apparently they don't have it in Brattleboro.
Not yet.
Exactly, not yet. So we said, why don't we do it? So we said, are we capable of doing it? Will people will understand? We want to invite us. So I said, listen, why don't we do it ourselves as a pilot, as a way to show everybody else how it's being done. So then when we want to see any other chef that wants to join us, they can see the video, they can see what it is, and they can see the concept, and they can understand it, rather than we going out explaining what it is.
Right.
So we decided to do that, and that's when you came on the equation. I remember I approached to you, I came with the idea, thanks to everybody and the community, you decided to agree on it, and that's how we are sitting right now doing this Battle of the Chef.
So talk a little bit about what that's going to look like on February 14th, on Valentine's Day. How is this event going to manifest exactly? What can people expect? How can they participate in it?
You know, that's a very good question. I mean, we have a lot of people coming in to the restaurant and asking, listen, can I buy a ticket? And we're like, what ticket? Yes, I want to buy the ticket because they have an idea that they have to buy. No, they don't have to buy anything. So what is going to happen is that day, the kitchen is going to be, the restaurant is going to be closed. So actually we're going to only perform the Battle of the Chef event. People can come and see us live cooking. We will have your cameras to live stream on your TV. I guess we can also do it on the YouTube streaming, social media, and we will have a television outside that we have so that people cannot see because we have a small place, it's true, a place to see, no, what we're cooking, to be able to see it. Now, we will make a registration for the first X amount of people. We're thinking about maybe something 50 that they will register. It's for free, no cost, complimentary. So at the end, once we cook, we can degustate with them. We will offer the food that we have cooked for the people to be able to try it, to see the difference on the taste, to see the same ingredient in two different versions, in two different ways, in two different cultures, so they can actually judge by themselves, you know? So we will have a space in the restaurant, specially selected, reserved, that will be the word, for the event so people can come and try it. I'm sure you're definitely gonna be there, no?
Of course.
Yes. So yeah, that's the idea. Once we do this first one, we would like to invite any other chef that would like to participate for episode 2. Please contact us to consider the possibility of expanding the concept. We want to do a series of multiple shows during the year. I don't know what in between right now, how many months is in between. I'll say maybe 4 to 5 on a year basis. So
well, yeah, let's get this first one going and see how we can just keep knocking them out.
That will allow
and keep them interesting too.
Yeah, I mean, think about this, Johnny. At the end of the day, what's the goal? It's a win-win-win. But the ultimate winning person has to be the community, the people in Brattleboro and surroundings. They have to be the ultimate person. They are the ones who have the benefit of the effort that you and I and Chef Lana and everybody on your team is doing for them. That's how I see it, and that's the goal.
Well, that's a great goal to have, one that I think the community needs. The community needs to be involved with this for it to be successful. And you're clearly opening your doors up to everyone in the community.
Well, we are opening the doors.
Yeah, that's true. So I got one more question for you. Why Valentine's Day of all days?
What represents Valentine's? Love. What are we doing? Battle. Love and battle goes together. Hate and love goes together. Yes and no, they complement. I mean, it has to be a special day. A special day not only for us, but a special day for everybody. I mean, it's a Friday, by the way. So Saturday, normally people don't have to do too many things, so they can take the day. It's a moment of gathering. What do you gather? Love. What do you gather? Friendship. What do you gather? All of us being together. So that's the day that we would like people being together. People that don't know each other, because people will be coming, different people. They will say, I'm here to see the event. I'm here for love. What about you? I don't know. I'm here for the battle. Are you sure? So we are love and battle. So people will mingle. People will be enjoying the momentum of something different on a special day. I believe that moments like this when you take a special day to do an event, and especially the first one, are the moments that you remember. Oh, what did you do for Valentine's? I told you what I did for Valentine's. I went to the Battle of the Chef of Amaru Gourmet with Brattleboro Community TV. Really, what you did last year for Valentine's? I'm always going to remember. If I tell you what you did on the 22nd of February, I don't know what I did, but you're always going to remember. So you attach a special momentum on a special day with a special love to join Love and Battle on the Battle of the Chef by Amaru Gourmet and BCTV.
Well, Luis, you're a real placemaker, I gotta say. You know exactly how to maximize the effectiveness, the reach, the passion, the love, like all of it, really. Your energy is just infectious, I gotta say.
That's good?
Yes, it is. So Luis, thank you for coming on BCTV today. Is there anything else that you want to leave folks with before we wrap up here?
Of course. I mean, first of all, I want to say everybody, thanks for watching us. Welcome you everybody to the show. Follow us in social media. Stay tuned with us and everything we are going to do together with here with Johnny and BCTV. Wish you all the best at the start of the week and an excellent start of 2025. Muchas gracias y feliz año.
Thank you for being here on Brattleboro Community Television, for watching this exciting interview with Chef Luis from Amaru Gourmet. Just remember that February 14th, 2025 is our first Battle of the Chefs at Amaru Gourmet and also on Brattleboro Community Television, so stay tuned for that. It's bound to be quite a thrilling ride. Thanks for tuning in.
Soy el chef, papá.